let's get more in depth with this whole Brock Lesnar return. Why don't we? True Jaw Josh, as previously mentioned, Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE at SummerSlam after the main event that saw Cody Rhodes defeat John Cena to regain the WWE title. Brock came down to the ring, and after a few moments of standing ringside, he entered the ring and hit Cena with an F5. PW Insider reports that WWE flew Lesnar into New Jersey on Saturday night and took steps to hide him all day. They add that even some WWE writers were kept in the dark about Lesnar's return. Lesnar last appeared for WWE at SummerSlam 2023, losing to Cody Rhodes. Lesnar has been surrounded by controversy since the Janel Grant lawsuit in 2024, which included an unnamed talent that the Wall Street Journal later reported was Lesnar. Lesnar then was named in the amended Janel Grant lawsuit. The lawsuit led to Vince McMahon's exit from WWE and squashed plans for Lesnar to return to the promotion in 2024. PW Insider has more information on the status of the lawsuit and if Lesnar is still named. The lawsuit was originally filed before the U.S. District Attorney in Connecticut and is currently still active. No settlement or decision has been filed, and the last update was from July 1st as WWE and McMahon tried to move things into private operation, as Grant's agreement with McMahon says is possible. Grant wants to keep it in public court, though. Brock Lesnar was never named as a defendant in the suit, so there was nothing to remove him from. He is, however, still mentioned among Grant's allegations. The allegations are the same and were never removed. So Lesnar has returned to WWE without this situation being completely resolved. It was noted by Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE legal cleared Lesnar 4 weeks ago. It was noted that WWE is confident that Lesnar is not a factor in the lawsuit and said that the decision not to bring Lesnar sooner was a legal decision and not a morale one. Adding, would WWE, Levesque, Nick Khan, and would they have used him if legal said yes? Well, guess what? Legal said yes, and so we know our answer. Meltzer noted that either WWE is confident that things are going to arbitration or going to be settled, in which case Lesnar would not be a factor in the lawsuit, or someone had a change of mind. He also noted that Lesnar was always under contract and getting paid, and that he was never suspended by the company. He was simply not used for legal reasons. Some fans led to believe that Lesnar has been cleared of wrongdoing in terms of the lawsuit, but as Fightful Select reports, that is not the case. In Lesnar's case, cleared appears to refer to the fact that they cleared him to appear on WWE TV, but he is not yet necessarily off the hook in terms of Grant's case. According to the site, Grant's legal team expects that more information about Brock Lesnar, who was referenced in the lawsuit as WWE and former UFC star, and later confirmed in the amended lawsuit, could come out during the discovery process. The lawsuit alleged that McMahon offered Grant as a bargaining chip to Lesnar to re-sign him back in 2021. With Lesnar receptive to the notion, though the encounter didn't end up happening. Around the time of WrestleMania 40, when an outlet was convinced that Lesnar would return at the pay-per-view, Fightful was told by a WWE higher-up that a Lesnar return would not be happening anytime soon. Obviously, that proved to be the case. WWE's stance throughout last year when asked was that Lesnar was nowhere near a potential return, and one employee told Fightful that a directive stated that Lesnar was not to be included in any video packages or promo pieces. Only Vince McMahon in recent times received that treatment. WWE began referencing Lesnar on TV again in recent weeks. Fightful Select also reports that Lesnar's return was kept secret from WWE production crew, writers, and producers, and that many backstage thought that the big surprise at the end of the show would be an appearance by The Rock. They noted that the plan now is for Lesnar to feud with John Cena. Cena is set for the August 8th, 22nd, and 29th episodes of SmackDown, as well as Clash in Paris on August 31st. So he will have ample time to build the storyline with Lesnar, but that seems to not be the case as he's facing someone else at Clash in the Castle with Clash in Paris, which we'll get to later. Lesnar flew into Teterboro Airport on a private plane and was at MetLife Stadium by 9:15 p.m. Eastern, with WWE keeping him hidden until he appeared. WWE executives noted to Fightful that Lesnar is not being persecuted or sued in the Janel Grant lawsuit, though he has not been cleared of any wrongdoing either. WWE announced on Saturday night after SummerSlam Night 1 that they would no longer include taking questions from the media as part of their post shows. And so many are now assuming that the reason for this is so nobody would have to answer questions from the media on Lesnar, who of course returned the next night. Fightful Select reports that there have been very mixed emotions regarding the Beast Incarnate's return. Not everyone is sweeping the allegations under the rug. However, it doesn't appear as though anyone is planning to walk out of the company or anything extreme like that. Apparently, WWE told no one about Brock's return, and not even John Cena's cameraman, Stu. It was noted that WWE doesn't care how talent feels about it. Shit. So that's the most part. That's one half of this whole Brock Lesnar fallout and all the controversy surrounded his return. So since we're talking about Brock Lesnar and people that are on Brock Lesnar's schedule, we are also joined by the third member of our team, our panel on today's flagship podcast. He is the true heel resident alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ. How the hell are you, Top Guy?
Did you not? I thought you saw my headliner, and I thought, damn, I thought being late, I'd have missed this. I came right on time.
Yep, you came right on time. We timed it perfectly so you can talk about this.
And first of all, what's up, Josh? What's going on, man? How you doing?
So you came in. So you tried to come in late on purpose while still showing up on time for the Brock Lesnar.
So I try to kayfabe it, but I definitely didn't do this on purpose. I just wasn't told about the 10 o'clock start. I just wasn't told. They probably shared it in messages amongst themselves and just forgot to add me to it.
Yeah, that's on Chrissy, because Chrissy was the one who asked if we could start at 10. And then she couldn't make it because she has a migraine. So she never put it in any of the chats you were in. So that's my bad. I should have.
Yeah. So I'm in the Top Guy JJ. That's in the Top Guy JJ Sucks chat that I'm not a part of. And they just decided to just have that conversation and just be like, yeah, don't tell the guy that has the Brock Lesnar True Heel Heat schedule. Please get that moniker off of me. I don't
think you want that anymore. So
I do not want that moniker on me at all. And sir, on the channel, I have been a much more frequent. So so that label, could probably, I can't even say Tribal Chief because
you got CM Punk. You got CM Punk.
Okay, I'll take that, even though I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan, but I'll take that. I'll take that. At least he's not under some this whatever the fuck he's going through, this trafficking thing. Yeah. So yeah. At least CM Punk is not dealing with that. So we're here, and guess you read it perfectly as I popped in. Like, your timing to fuck with me just seems to just be impeccable 8 years later, and it's crazy. We're coming up on the 8-year anniversary. 8 years? 8 years?
Yes, 8-year anniversary.
And just pick the right time. Just be like, hey, I'm gonna fuck with this guy today, and just have him come in right when we're talking about this bullshit. It's great. It's great. It's fucking great.
So what was your reaction to Brock's return, and what do you think about all this fallout with the fact that WWE didn't want to let anyone know and doesn't care how anyone feels about it?
I know it's gonna sound like cap, and I wish that there was like, I wish I had like a Ring camera that I could have like had like on my reaction to when this happened. I didn't really have one. Like I really didn't, because I was so enamored with the John Cena and Cody Rhodes banger of a match that the show should have just ended. And then this just all felt like after the credits. This felt like a dark return or something. Like this, the level of unnecessary that this was, and we touched on it a little bit on Rated Raw Review, and it was, I just didn't understand it. Like I didn't understand it. But you know, I guess for the people that was in attendance, they lost their shit, even though, you know, and then all of a sudden, once their adrenaline left their body, they're like, oh yeah, that stuff is still happening. Yeah. Fucking ring entrance music doesn't make shit go away. Like, at this stage of his career, in with everything happening and him, like he's not cleared fully. He's cleared by WWE apparently, clearly, but it's not over. We haven't heard anything official, unless I and millions of people missed it. But I don't think it's over. But you know, according to WWE, it is. And I love the fact that when the crowd at the press conference, not a press conference now, it's now a post show, because it's not a press conference because nobody asked questions. When they chanted "We want Cross," he told them, "Y'all got Brock." So
we want Brock. You got him.
Just love all of that. Like just you know, you could hear Cross. There's no like, you know, like there's none of that. You Cross. You hear it. It's pretty loud. It's pretty clear.
That man got to get his hearing checked.
You got Brock. Nobody literally no one acts for this. Like literally no one acts for this. I think there was maybe one person out of like the 50-something thousand people that had a sign for some reason. I think he was an extra. I'm going to guarantee that person was an extra, because I'm pretty sure that no one wanted or cared. But obviously, if you're in the event and it shocked you, oh, shit. I'm kind of glad I saw it at home instead of at live, because I would have probably been one of the dummies to kind of like, you know how we react when we see somebody, you know how us colored folks act when somebody starts running, we start running too. You know, so it's kind of like everybody popped and it's like, oh shit. And it's like, fuck did I just do that for? What the fuck did I just do that for? Now I'm tight.
Be mad at yourself.
I'm gonna be mad at myself. But I don't know, man. Like I just think it's unnecessary. And then Friday Night SmackDown proved it to be completely unnecessary. Because it just got washed away. He's not even fighting the guy in Paris.
He's probably not working until like Survivor Series. Like, so you did not have to bring him back at SummerSlam.
He's not fighting him in Paris. So why the fuck did y'all bring him back to end SummerSlam after both John Cena and Cody Rhodes' matches of the year? Like, why? Why? Maybe somebody can help me understand it, because I sure the fuck don't.
I'm really baffled on why you needed to do this here. And I'm also not baffled, because WWE, I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times this year, they have made it very clear of a couple of things this year. They are very dependent and relying on moments. They are moment merchants. They want this dopamine like euphoria to sweep the fans and give them these moments that they'll never forget. But it really feels at this point like it's like fleeting moments, because the moments are so frequent that they're starting to not really matter in the long run. Like one of the big moments of the year was R-Truth returning at Money in the Bank. That's a fleeting moment, 100%, 2 months later, because he's right back where he was, and now he's back to the same character he was before because John Cena is. So this is the type of things that this is them relying on moments to pop the fans, but they're not going to really mean that much in the long run. And this was just another example of it. And combine that with the fact that, yes, he is clear to you and you only. His name is not removed from the lawsuit. The lawsuit is not in operation. The lawsuit is not being settled quite yet. You have to. This was WWE. I said it on the review. I'll say it on Rated Raw review, and I will say it here. This was WWE putting a line in the sand saying, we don't give a fuck what you think. You got a problem with it? We don't care. We know that we are riding high. We have so much momentum. We're making record profits. We got record attendance everywhere we go. It does not matter what we do. We are going to give you these moments. You're going to like it, and you're going to give us your money.
Can just to add really quick, do you know what to kind of piggyback on what you just said? Just got nuked with the R-Truth thing, and clearly that shit don't exist no more. Yeah. Friday proved that as well. Literally what happened the night before. Nobody's talking about what happened the night before.
No one's talking about Cody and Cena putting on an instant classic on the same night.
Minutes before. They got people talking about SummerSlam, but not the way they want people to talk about SummerSlam. Because it wasn't a terrible show, but you just nuked whatever memory people had of it. For 60 seconds. Moment hogs. You fucking glory whores. So Brock, let's make this clear. I'll make a couple of things clear, and I made this clear on AE Ramble because, of course, Jimmy Macaram feels differently about this than most of us do. Brock, in the lawsuit, there's no allegation saying that he raped anybody, because I know that was something that was said in our chat on Thursday, saying that Jimmy was being a rapist sympathizer and stuff like that. And I know there was some people online that got offended and say, oh, you shouldn't say that about him. That's not what's being alleged. So just to make that clear, Brock is alleged to be complicit of sex trafficking. Complicit meaning that he was going along with it, that he knew what was going on, that a woman was being used as a bargaining chip in his negotiation for his contract. Did he do anything with the woman? No, that's also been confirmed in the lawsuit. He didn't. He wasn't able. He got too drunk and he didn't show up. She came to his building, but there's no confirmation that he actually met with her. But being complicit of sex trafficking should be enough to stay away from him for a little while longer until the case is settled. For all we know, Brock could be innocent of everything. But the fact that it's an active lawsuit is the issue why a lot of people, I saw somebody in the chat saying people crashing out about Brock's return. No, I think people are just emotional about it because it is an active, ongoing lawsuit. That is the whole crust of an issue why a lot of people have an issue with this. Jimmy, for all that he said and for all that stuff that I didn't agree with him about, he did agree with the fact that he doesn't want to see Brock Lesnar, but that's mainly because he doesn't want to see Brock Lesnar in 2025.
He's like, I've already seen everything I could possibly see with Brock Lesnar. I do not need to see Brock Lesnar to have another matchup with John Cena, or another matchup with Roman Reigns, or another matchup with Seth Rollins, or another matchup with CM Punk. Like, I know there's people that's like, oh, I want to see Brock versus Gunther. I want to see Brock versus Braun Breaker. Do we need to see that? No.
I don't.
Is that going to happen? Probably also no. Like, so
people know how selective he is of who he competes with.
Yes. Watching stuff. We will get into that. We there's more to this Brock Lesnar story that we're gonna get into on this show. Don't you worry. But Josh, what was your reaction, and what do you think about the fallout that we've already discussed so far with WWE basically saying they don't care about how the locker room feels in regards to Brock being back? I think that Lance Storm also made a good point this week on Wrestling Observer Live, where he talked about what most fans should be thinking about is how the women that work in WWE are feeling, because this is not a case of, oh, this is just the one thing against Brock Lesnar. There's nothing else about his history. He has a very long and storied history of his treatment of women in the wrestling business that also does not look good at all. So what do you think about all this?
I mean, am I surprised that the company doesn't care? No, because they're trying to justify their move. If they're going to make a decision, obviously they're not going to backtrack it. They're not going to, speak negative about it, because it's a decision they make. So they're going to die on that hill when it comes to that. Regardless of Brock coming back, I mean, me personally, do I care about Brock? Not really. I haven't cared about Brock for years. I don't hate the guy. It's just something like when people talk about like, oh, I want to see this match or that match. There's nothing appealing for Brock at this point. Brock does 2 moves in the ring. So like you know what you're getting in a Brock Lesnar match, and I just don't. There's no need. There's not a need for me as a fan when it comes to watching Brock on TV in general. That's just this is me speaking as a fan when it comes to what I saw with Brock. As far as everything else, I mean, I stand by how I felt, where when I saw him, I was like, oh, dude, this is not a great idea. And it's one of those things where I know people like to use the term woke, or, you're trying to cancel him. I'm not trying to cancel Brock. That's not me at all. It's just one of those things where I think people just need to be held accountable. And by bringing Brock back, you're not holding him accountable. But the fact that your legal team saying, oh, yeah, he's good to go, people think that that's kind of like a W. That don't mean nothing. Your own legal team said, hey, you could do this. That doesn't mean anything. That's just your team telling you, hey, yeah, you can show up on TV. That doesn't clear you from anything. So when I spoke about it the next day on my Instagram story, somebody did try to they're saying things. They're making assumptions about something they didn't know about, and I think it was a frustrating conversation, because it's just like you guys are having thoughts of something you haven't followed or obviously read in. Like you obviously haven't read the lawsuit to make an assumption of, oh, Brock Lesnar is cleared. Oh, maybe there was a settlement. Brock is not getting the settlement. Brock is not the one that's being sued. Brock is being mentioned in the lawsuit for something that's serious. He was mentioned 44 times. And I think that's what a lot of people look over, where he's mentioned for something that could be potentially criminal. That's the thing. There's an attempt of what he did. That's still a crime. Attempting is still a crime.
And he's complicit. He's complicit with the knowledge that he had of the situation. So if the case gets to discovery, he could be becoming a defendant in the suit.
Yeah, and that's the part that I think that's where WWE's legal team. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer, but I do feel like they kind of screwed up with, where I think they should have waited to Discovery, because with Discovery, at least you have an idea of where that's going. If he's completely innocent or there was no wrongdoing, then he could absolutely come back. Now people will have like their own personal feelings to that, no matter what. But at least there will be some kind of clear indication where it's like, all right, Brock didn't do anything wrong. He's cleared, right? Now, when it comes to like what is actually being said, Brock you know, and those text messages, you know, it did show he was aware of it, not only aware, he was going along with it. And the fact, again, that the fact that there was an attempt and it didn't happen because of his own wrongdoing, meaning he got drunk and it didn't happen, that doesn't really clear him from anything because there was an attempt there. So that's where I think he's still gonna, you know, if they decide to push it, he can still face some kind of consequences when it comes to that legally. But besides that, I mean, it's just the overall picture. Like, me as a fan, I don't need to see Brock. In general, you know, he's done it all, I feel, for the most part in his career. You know, he's built his career, you know, obviously with his own work. You know, he did something that a lot of people can't say they did. You know, he was able to make a lot of money to work less. That's a lot of people's dreams, and he's been able to do that for his own hard work. I will never take that away from Brock. But besides that, 2025, I really don't need to see him. And the fact that they brought him back at this moment now, it's not a good look. And I think that's where people need to kind of realize, like, they need to put their fandom down and realize this is why people are upset. Now you can say some people are going overboard with them being upset. I could say that, but I think it's one of those things where if you're overall joyed of it, then that's also a problem, in my opinion. So it's kind of like, it could kind of go both ways. You could be upset, somebody being upset about that, but then it's like, you're happy that he's back without really seeing why it's a problem. That alone, it's a problem within itself.
And their whole treatment of it, or like reaction to it, WWE as a company, has been so cowardly. Not doing the press conference because you don't want to get questioned about it. And then we got to get into what Triple H said on the post show.